I start with my youngest, and we love the good and the beautiful language arts because it's all in one. Today is day 1 back into the routine of homeschooling after the winter break. We should be 7 lessons ahead. Meet Ryder. We should be 7 lessons ahead, but you know, we homeschool, so I can't say that we're too far behind. Today we are working on poetry, so we're gonna work through this, and then on his actual independent work, I'm gonna show you what he's working on. So our favorite thing is this is the vocabulary section. This is all independent work, which I do help him a little bit. Very dyslexic and very ADHD boy here. So we have our vocabulary, our action verbs, and then he's gonna pick out which ones are the verbs. And then we have proper nouns, then our homophones, shades of meaning, like which one's which, and then that is all for today. And then tomorrow we move on to the next lesson.
D, so we need a D.
Good job.
Oh. Who thought the little ant the way?
Who taught the little ant the way? Does way rhyme with any of those?
Way best. Way
No.
fly, way by, way by.
No?
No.
So it ends in A. None of those end with A, so now we're going to start with a new letter. What's the next letter that we use?
E.
E, yes.
E.
And then he comes and he sits down at the computer, and he's already done this today, but he can watch the lecture on his app on my computer.
But so far we have,
and we really love this because it goes back to the like chalkboard method of like seeing it and hearing it, writing it at the same time. And then he has his workbook that he does the actual work on. You have the ability to do the problems
87 of
in the sketch pad. Like if it's a multiplication or something, you can write it in here. Let me show. So like this one, there's usually a handwriting tool, but since he's already done it, you won't be able to see it. But he can actually draw out 95 over 78 if he wanted to in the actual app. But I don't like him to do that. I like to actually make him write it out on his paper because he gets more of it. For my kiddos, when they're in elementary, I don't focus a lot on all the extracurricular activities because like subjects outside of math, science, reading, history. We don't do a lot of history. Ooh, the lighting was bad. A lot of history and science, but we do like things inside the kitchen that have to do with science, and we talk about science. But their actual science and history is through a app called Acellus. Let me show it to you. So I actually have both of my kids on the same one because you can have up to, I think, 7 courses. And I only use it for 2 subjects for my kids. But when they click on it, you know, then they can go in, and this one, my son has to type out a paragraph on anti-federalist versus federalist. I read that totally backwards. And then like science, he's already watched a video, and so these are the questions, which I don't love that like he's already watched a video talking about all of these things, and then tomorrow is what he was supposed to start off with actually answering. I'd rather do the watch the video and then answer the questions, but sometimes the timing is off a little bit. But this is what we use for science and history. And then my youngest one, we do a little bit of math facts every now and then. And then I have a freshman. He is a little bit different. He does his 2 online history and science on Acellus through the app, but then he does a writing program through a company called Essentials of Writing. And then his algebra, we love his Algebra 1. It's through Denison Math. I'm going to show it to you. So this is his algebra, and we love it because it's very like clean. Like there's not a lot of like fluff. It's just straight to it. He watches a video for the day, like this day, this was a long time ago. You know, he watches the video lesson on how to do the lesson. Then they work through a few problems together. And then he will come over here as he works through all of those. Then he comes over here and he will try it on his own. And then the instructor will go through. He'll make him pause the video. and then he will go through and check all of the problems, and then he has to do it all on his own. And this is based on what he learned today. Then you go over here, and there's always a few review questions on previous things, but we love that it tells you exactly where you learned these things. So if you can't remember, then you can flip back to it. And then it does obviously get a little harder and harder. And some of the questions, like he only has 8 today, because if you look how long they are, and then, well, actually that was not today, that was a couple days ago. But we just love Denison Math because it's very straight to the point. And if you have a kid that, we've done a few different programs for algebra or pre-algebra, but this one by far is our favorite one. So that's a little bit of our day in the life of homeschooling. It's very low key. My kids just kind of, they don't have an actual routine. I don't force them to get up at a certain time. I try to get us up during the morning, get breakfast. But like today was our first day back after the holidays. We didn't even start till noon, but usually an hour and a half to 2 hours, we're completely done with school. And then we're ready to finish our day however we want. So if you use any of these programs, I would love to know how much you love them, or if you have anything else that you use. I would love for you to share those in the comments. And I am, like I said, a Texas homeschooling mom. So if you're here, we would love to be friends and support each other.